Welcome back to episode 9 of Teflon Stoic's adventure on hardcore WoW and Stoic philosophy. We're continuing on with Marcus Aurelius' meditations.
Of the cosmic order. In Stoic thought, asking the gods to change the world is misguided, since the universe, governed by reason, logos, is already perfect as it is. 6. Asclepius, mythology. Son of Apollo and god of medicine in Greek mythology, Asclepius was revered in the ancient world as a divine healer. He symbolized the ideal of restorative care and was associated with temples of healing
Always
known
getting
as
turned
Aselpia. 7. Universal nature has prescribed Stoicism. In a providential cosmos, what appears as suffering or loss may serve a greater good. For the Stoics, everything unfolds according to divine reason, pronoia, and what seems bad to the individual may benefit the whole. 8. Ancient causes. Stoicism. Everything that happens is the product of an unbroken causal chain, hymarmene, stretching back to the beginning of time. According to Stoic determinism, events are not random but are woven into the fabric of universal reason, logos, making each person's fate uniquely theirs. 9. Pleasure deceive us. Stoicism. The Stoic sage feels pleasure, but only that which comes from right judgment and virtuous action. Base pleasures distract from nature's work, while true pleasure arises from living in harmony with nature, oikiosis, free from the pain of internal conflict. 10. Every judgment we make. Stoicism. In Stoic epistemology, we give assent, synkathesis, to impressions, which then form judgments and motivate action. While Marcus stresses their mutability, Stoics also held that some impressions are reliable, cataleptic fantasia, and can lead to true belief.
I'm back to being lieutenant of the guild.
To knowledge and right action.
It's a good guild, guys. If you're looking
11.
for a good hardcore
Wisdom,
guild, I can't recommend anything better
justice,
than Death Happens.
courage, Stoicism. These are the 4 cardinal virtues in Stoicism: phronesis, wisdom; sophrosin, moderation;
I figured that was a no.
dikaiosyn, justice;
What
and
can I do
andrea,
for you?
courage.
Marshal
The
Dugan.
only traits considered
Yeah?
truly
Well,
and
you're
consistently
not from the
good
army,
for the
but if
moral
Dugan
agent.
sent you, then that's good enough for me.
12.
Let's get some
Our situation
armbands.
These
is, to
goods.
say the least, a stressed
Literature.
one. I hope
Fragment
Dugan gets
530.
Gnolls,
Coach,
brutish
from
creatures
Menander,
with no
a
decent
Greek
business
playwright
in
of
these
new
lands
comedy.
have been seen along the borders
The
of
quote
Elwynn.
offers ironic reflection on wealth, material excess, and bodily needs. 13. Has nowhere left to defecate literature. This is the punchline of the preceding quote from Menander, fragment 530, Coach, expressing through coarse irony the limits of material accumulation and bodily decay. 14. Causal element and a material element, Stoicism. In Stoic physics, the soul is the active cause, to poion, and the body is passive matter, to poskon. Each person is part of the universal chain of causes, and understanding this cosmic order dispels fear of death. 15. Fixed cycles, Stoicism. The Stoics believed in ekpyrosis, the periodic destruction of the universe by fire, followed by its rebirth. Despite this cyclical repetition, time is still considered infinite, since the same cosmic cycle recurs endlessly. 16. Does not befit a human being. Stoicism. In Stoicism, only virtue is proper to human nature, which is essentially
It's
rational
gonna
and
make
good.
it difficult.
Things that do not befit us are morally
A
indifferent,
lot of people
adiaphora,
here.
having no true value unless used in accordance with reason. 17. Lower beings exist. Stoicism. In Stoic cosmology, non-rational beings exist to support rational ones, who are made to live socially and cooperatively. This reflects the principle of oikiosis, the natural orientation of rational beings toward community and mutual benefit. 18. External Thangsel. Stoicism. According to the Stoics, external events cannot affect the soul unless we give them assent, synkathesis. It is the mind's judgment that makes something good or bad. By aligning our perceptions with divine reason, we retain inner freedom and peace. 19. If the city, Stoicism, for the Stoics, the individual is part of a greater whole, the rational community of beings. Personal harm matters only insofar as it affects the common good.
Yeah.
True moral alignment begins with recognizing the primacy of the whole, oikiosis, over the part.
Okay, here's one.
There is smoke, so I leave, Stoicism. From Discourses at .25.18 by Epictetus. This phrase illustrates the Stoic ideal of detachment. When a situation becomes harmful or intolerable, the wise person calmly chooses to withdraw rather than complain, maintaining inner freedom and peace of mind. 21. Do not do or say anything harmful to anyone. Literature. This phrase, quoted from Homer's Odyssey 4:690, reflects an ethical ideal rooted in self-control, fairness, and respect for others. Resonant with both Stoic and Homeric values. 22. Regular cycles, Stoicism. The Stoics believed the universe undergoes recurring cycles of destruction and renewal, ekpyrosis, governed by divine reason, logos. At each conflagration, everything perishes except God, who retreats into himself to initiate the next cosmic order. 23. Earth to Olympus, philosophy. From Hesiod's Works and Days, line 197. Refers to the divine cycle and the connection between mortal actions and divine order. 24. Fleeting breath. Stoicism. In Stoic physics, the soul is a warm, vital breath, pneuma, formed by the evaporation of blood and nourished by the air we breathe. This vaporous nature highlights the soul's material and transitory essence, reminding us that even our inner life is fleeting and bound to nature's cycles. 25.
Better heal,
Or
guys.
extinction or transformation. Stoicism. These are the two outcomes compatible with Stoic thought. The soul may either dissolve back into nature or persist for a time before being transformed. Since the soul is material, pneuma, both are natural and should be awaited calmly. 26. Old man in the spinning top. Stoicism. This is an obscure passage, likely metaphorical. The spinning top may symbolize the concept of indifferent things, adiaphora, in Stoic philosophy. Those aspects of life that, being neither virtuous nor vicious, are morally neutral, beyond our control. 27.
Hey, we got two.
Weeping on the rostra. Stoicism.
I think I can pull him.
Rostra was the speaker's platform in the Roman Forum. Although politics deals with morally indifferent matters, adiaphora,
I can take
Marcus
you.
reminds himself that it is still a proper
I can
role,
live too.
kathekon, to
Got a
fulfill,
Largo
as
there.
long as it is done in accordance with virtue and reason. Book Vias. Interaction with others. Giovanni Battista Piranesi,
Hey, I got a
Veduta del
third.
Tempio di Antonino e Faustina in Campo Vaccino. The Temple of Antoninus and Faustina, transformed yet eternal, reflects virtue as harmonious unity with nature, a principle dear to Marcus.
Are you kidding me?
The substance of the universe is pliable and adaptable, and the reason that governs it has no cause within itself to produce evil, for it contains no evil, harms nothing, and nothing is damaged by it. Instead, everything unfolds and comes to pass according to the universal reason. Do not distinguish between performing your duty, whether you must endure cold or heat, struggle with sleeplessness or feel well rested, face criticism or receive praise, die or do something else. Even dying is one of life's actions. It is enough, then, to make good use of the present, even in this moment. 3. Look within. Do not overlook the inherent quality and value of anything. 4. All things will soon transform and vanish into vapor, if indeed substance is one. Otherwise, they will simply
Put a
disperse.
thing on Hogger so he doesn't kill me.
5. The governing reason
I've already
knows with
killed
what
Hogger.
disposition it acts, and what it accomplishes, and within what material it operates. 6. The best way to defend yourself is not to become like your adversary. 7. Find joy and peace in one thing alone, in moving from one action that benefits the community to another action that benefits the community, always mindful of the divine. 8. The guiding principle is what awakens itself, directs itself, shapes itself into whatever it chooses, and presents every event to itself in the way it wishes to see it. 9. Every single thing unfolds according to universal nature, and not according to some other nature that either encompasses it from without, is contained within it, or exists independently outside of it. 10. Either chaos, confusion, and dissolution, or unity, order, and providence. In the first case, why should I wish to linger any longer amid randomness and disorder like this? What else matters to me if not how I will one day return to Earth? And why let myself be troubled?
Ooh, gold schedule pickup.
Disillusion will overtake me no matter what I do. In the second case, I offer reverence, steadfastness, and trust to the one who governs. 11. When circumstances force you to feel disturbed, quickly return to yourself and do not stray from your rhythm more than
Oh yeah,
necessary.
guys, I'm so Skinner.
By continually
be
returning to
skinning.
harmony, your mastery over it will grow. 12. If you had both a stepmother and a mother, you would surely treat the former with respect, yet you would continually return to your mother. This is how the court and philosophy are for you now. The court is your stepmother, and philosophy is your mother. Return often to philosophy, and find peace in her. Through her, that environment becomes bearable, and you become bearable within it. 13. How valuable it is, when faced with delicacies and foods of this kind, to receive the following impressions. This is the corpse of a fish, that the corpse of a bird or a pig. And again, Falernian wine is just grape juice, and the purple robe is sheep's wool soaked in shellfish blood. And regarding sexual union, it is the rubbing of an organ and the discharge of mucus accompanied by spasms. How powerful these impressions are, cutting through appearances to reveal the true nature of things. This is how we should approach life. Whenever things seem overly persuasive, strip them bare, examine their insignificance, and suppress the reason that inflates their importance. For vanity is a terrible dealer in false logic, and you are most deceived precisely when you think you're pursuing something worthwhile. Recall what Crates said about Xenocrates. 14. Most of what the masses admire belongs to the most common kinds of things: stones, wood, figs, vines, olives. Those who are slightly closer to a more measured view value living beings, such as flocks and herds. Those who are even more refined admire rational beings, but not for their pure rationality, rather for their skill in an art or some other ability, or simply for owning many slaves. However, those who honor a rational and social soul no longer concern themselves with any of these things.
Here we
Instead,
go.
they preserve their own soul in its rational and social state, and work toward this end in harmony with all who share their kinship. 15. Some things are quick to come into being, others to pass away, and even within what exists, something is already perishing. Flows and transformations continually renew the cosmos, just as the uninterrupted motion
Hey,
of time
now
makes
we're
infinite
onto
eternity
something.
never new. And in this river, amidst these fleeting things, how can one assign value to anything when there is no firm ground to stand on? It is like loving a sparrow that vanishes in an instant. It is already gone from sight. A person's life is akin to the evaporation of blood in the drawing of breath. Just as each act of inhaling and exhaling is repeated continuously, so too is the returning of the entire faculty of breathing, which you acquired yesterday or the day before at birth, drawn from its original source. 16. It holds little value to transpire like plants, or breathe like domestic and wild animals, or be swayed by impressions, or be jerked around like puppets by impulses, or belong to a herd, or feed, which is akin to expelling the residue of food. What then has value? Being applauded? No. Thus,
Well, I
not
got
even
what
being
I
praised with
needed.
words,
Whisper
since
to
the
her.
applause of people is merely clapping with their tongues. Well, you have already rejected glory,
Alright, so
What
now
remains that has
we
value?
got what we needed.
the ability, I believe, to move and
Kill this
restrain
guy.
yourself according to your own constitution, which is also the goal pursued by all activities and crafts. Every craft, after all, aims at this, that its product be suited to the purpose for which it was made. The farmer who tends to his vines, the horse trainer, and the dog breeder all strive for this result. What result do the efforts of a tutor or a teacher pursue? Here, then, lies what truly has value. And if this suffices, you need nothing else. Will you stop valuing so many other things? If you do not, you will remain unfree, dependent, and subject to passions. For it is inevitable that you feel envy, jealousy, suspicion toward those who might take away what you value, that you plot against those who possess what you admire. In short, anyone who feels deprived of such things will inevitably be disturbed.
Well, let's
and
go kill
worse,
Princess.
will have much to reproach the gods for.
Let's go get her.
Meanwhile, respect and honor for your intellect will make you content with
Things are,
yourself,
friend.
in harmony
Be
with
careful.
others, and in
I
deep
see you've
accord
been
with the
busy.
gods,
Some of our things.
ready to praise, that is, what
Got
they
a good
distribute
shield?
and ordain.
Not really.
17. The motions of the
Holy
elements are
alliance.
upward, downward, or circular. But the movement of virtue does not fall into any of these categories. It is something more divine, and it journeys happily along a path that is difficult to comprehend. 18. What strange behavior! They refuse to praise those who live in their own time and beside them, yet they highly value being praised by posterity, a people they have never seen and will never see. This is much like being upset because your ancestors did
About
not
to hit
praise you.
12. I'm
19.
gonna keep
If
pushing
something
on
seems
strength.
difficult for you to achieve, do not assume it is
Strength
impossible
is
for
good.
a human being. Rather, if it is possible and appropriate for a human, consider it attainable for yourself as well. 20. During wrestling practice, someone might scratch us with their nails or headbutt us and cause an injury, yet we do not lash out in reproach, feel offended, or later suspect them of plotting against us. We remain cautious, yes, but not as if they were an enemy, nor with suspicion. Rather, we simply avoid them without resentment. A similar approach should be taken in other areas of life. We should not dwell on the actions of those who, so to speak, are merely training by grappling with us. For, as I have said, it is possible to avoid them without harboring suspicion or hostility. 21. If anyone can challenge me and prove that my opinions or actions are misguided, I will gladly change my stance. For I seek the truth,
There's a
which has
paladin
never
trainer
harmed
in
anyone.
town. I didn't know that.
While it is the one who clings
Oh, I
to deception
forgot it.
and ignorance who harms himself.
After we level up, we'll learn
22.
some new
I
things.
do my duty without letting myself be distracted by anything else, whether lifeless
swiftness
objects,
potion right here so I
irrational
can get it.
beings, or those who have lost their way and cannot see the path. 23.
Yeah, right here.
Toward irrational animals
met.
and in general toward all things and objects. Animals and in general toward all things and objects of sense, adopt a magnanimous and free attitude, as befits one who possesses reason when dealing with what lacks it. Toward humans, however, adopt the attitude
Need to
appropriate
kill
to those who share
one
reason
thing.
and the principles of society. In every situation, call upon the gods and do not ask, "For how long can I act this way?" For even 3 hours lived this way are sufficient. 24. When Alexander the Great and his mule driver died, they returned to the same condition. Either they were reabsorbed into the same generative principles of the cosmos, or they were scattered equally into atoms. 25. Reflect on how many things happen simultaneously, within an infinitesimally small moment of time, both in your body and in your soul.
Oh, he's gone.
And
One more,
thus,
maybe?
you will not be surprised if
Oh,
a
let's
far
get this
greater number
bear.
of events, or indeed everything, happens simultaneously within the unity of all things, which we call the cosmos. 26. If someone were to ask you how to
There
spell
we
the
go.
name Antoninus, would you lose your patience while spelling out each letter? And if they grew angry,
Yep.
would you become
We'll
angry
kill 'em.
too?
We want more
You
strength.
simply enumerate each letter calmly?
Lots of
In the
strength.
same way, remember that every duty is composed of a certain number of steps. You must attend to them methodically, without losing your composure or becoming agitated by those who are agitated, and thus achieve your goal with order and clarity. 27. How cruel it is to prevent people from following their natural impulse toward what seems appropriate and beneficial to them. And yet, in a way, this is precisely what you do when you grow angry at their mistakes. After all, they are convinced that they are moving toward what is appropriate and beneficial for them. But they are wrong. Then teach them, offer guidance, and refrain from anger. 28. Death is rest from the impressions of the senses, from the impulses that jerk
Like
us
his
around
hammer.
May
like
the light
puppets,
protect you this
from the
day.
wanderings of thought, and from the service we render to the flesh. 29. In this life where your body does not
Got a
yet
bunch of
surrender,
new spells.
it is
Okay,
shameful for
lay
the
on
soul
hands.
to give up first. 30. Be careful not to become like Caesar, not to be corrupted by the allure of power. It can happen indeed. Instead, remain simple, good, upright, serious, free from vanity, a friend of justice, devout, compassionate, affectionate, and resolute in fulfilling your duty. Strive to remain as philosophy has shaped you. Revere the gods, assist others. Life is short. The only fruit of earthly existence lies in a pious disposition and actions aimed at the common good. In all things, conduct yourself as Antoninus' disciple. Let his energy and rational actions be your model, his consistent behavior in every circumstance, his devotion, the serenity of his expression, his gentleness, his rejection of empty glory.
Good.
Regeet.
We're doing good.
His desire to understand matters deeply, never abandoning a question until it has been thoroughly examined and clearly
What can I help you
understood.
with?
His ability to endure unjust criticism without retaliating, his refusal to act rashly or listen to slander, his sharpness in assessing character and actions without resorting to insults, without being alarmed by trivial disturbances, without living in suspicion, without overcomplicating matters, his contentment with little, whether in housing, bedding, clothing, food, or household service, his diligence and
Pretty
magnanimity,
good.
Light bless you.
his capacity to work
All right.
tirelessly
Time
until
for
evening.
Princess.
Thanks to his simple lifestyle, even managing without needing relief beyond his usual time, his steadfastness and constancy in friendships, his tolerance for those who openly disagreed with him, and his joy when someone pointed out a better path, his piety, free from superstitious fears. For when your final hour comes, may your conscience be as tranquil as his. 31. Awaken your senses, regain yourself, and once you have shaken off sleep and realized that what troubled you were merely dreams, then, fully awake, look at these things as you looked at those. 32. I am made up of body and soul. For the body, all things are indifferent, because the body can only be indifferent to external matters.
Coming for you, Princess.
For the mind, however, what is not the product of its own activity is
Good.
indifferent,
I got my left
while
of
everything
strength.
that is the
I got my
product of its
regeneration.
activity
I
lies
got my
within its
buff.
power. Yet even
This
here,
is
the
a
mind is concerned
good
only with
time
the
to
present,
fight her.
for moment by moment, its future and past activity also remain indifferent to it. 33. Neither the hand nor the foot performs work contrary to nature, as
We'll
long
use
as the
the
foot
shield.
fulfills the role of a foot and the hand fulfills the role of a hand. Similarly, for a human being as a human being, their work is not contrary to nature as long as they perform the functions proper to a human. And if it is not contrary to nature, then it is not an evil for them. 34. What pleasures have been enjoyed by bandits, perverts,
Come
parricides, and
for
tyrants?
Princess.
35. Do you not see how many people, in practicing their craft, strive to accommodate the ideas of laymen within certain limits, yet still adhere to the principles of their art and refuse to abandon them? Is it not shameful that the architect and the doctor show greater respect for the principles of their craft than humanity does for its own reason, which it shares with the gods? 36. Asia and Europe are mere corners of the cosmos. Every sea is a drop in the cosmos. Mount Athos is a speck of dust in the cosmos. The entire present moment is a point in eternity. Everything is small, fleeting, and on the verge of vanishing. All things come from there, from the common guiding principle, either directly or as a consequence. And so, the lion's gaping jaws, poison,
get
whatever
them out of the
causes
way.
harm, like thorns or mud, are accessories to what is venerable and beautiful. Do not imagine them as alien to what you revere, but reflect on their source. 37. Whoever has seen the present reality has seen
And
all
I got a
things,
scroll of
both
protection.
what has been from eternity and what will be for infinity. For everything shares the same origin and the same form. 38. Reflect often on the bond that unites all things in the cosmos and on their interconnection. For in a certain way they are all intertwined, and thus they are all friends to one another. One thing follows another by virtue of the total motion, the deep harmony, and the unity of substance. 39. Adapt yourself to the reality to which fate has assigned you, and the people
Oh yeah,
fate
we
has
got
placed
Princess!
you sincerely. 40. Every tool, implement, or utensil, if it fulfills the purpose for which it was made,
Oh, that's
is functioning
awesome.
well.
Skinner.
Yet in their case, the maker is absent. But in the case of things endowed with a nature, the force that created them remains present within them. Therefore, you must revere it all the more. And if your inner
turn this
disposition
sucker
and
in.
conduct align with its will, consider everything to be in harmony with your own intentions.
Great.
So too with the universe. What belongs to it is in harmony with its intent. 41. Whatever you regard as good or bad among things outside your control, it is inevitable that you will blame the gods and resent those who are, or whom you suspect to be, responsible for your failure or misfortune. And this is the source of countless injustices, because we fail to remain indifferent to such matters. However, if we judge good and evil solely by what is within our power, there will no longer be any reason to accuse the gods or harbor hostility toward others. 42. We all contribute to a single final outcome, some with clear awareness, others unknowingly. As Heraclitus, I believe, said, even those who sleep work and collaborate in the events of the cosmos. Some collaborate in one way, others in another, and indeed, even those who criticize, resist, and attempt to undermine events are collaborators. Clearly, the cosmos has need of such individuals as well. So, consider carefully which role you wish to play, for the one who governs the universe will make good use of you in any case, welcoming you in this or that capacity among its collaborators and co-workers. But do not assume a role like the useless and absurd. 44. If the gods have deliberated about me and what must happen to me, they have surely deliberated well. It is difficult even to imagine a god acting otherwise. For what reason would they seek to harm me? What benefit would it bring them, or the whole universe, which is their primary concern? But if they have not deliberated specifically about me, they have at least deliberated about the whole universe. I must therefore willingly accept the events that result from their decisions. And if they deliberate about nothing at all, which it is impious to believe, for then we would cease to offer sacrifices, prayers, oaths, and all the other acts we perform, as though the gods are present and beside us, then I still retain the power to deliberate about myself, and to seek what is appropriate. And what is appropriate for each person is what aligns with their nature. My nature is rational and social. As Antoninus, my city and country is Rome. As a human being, it is the cosmos. Therefore, what is good for me is only what benefits these cities. 45. What happens to each individual is suited to the universe. This alone would be enough, but upon closer observation, you will also notice that what happens to one person is often suited to others as well. Here, take what is suited in its common sense, referring to things that lie between virtue and vice. 46. Just as you grow weary of the games in the amphitheater and similar spectacles because you see the same things over and over, and the monotony bores you to disgust, so too does life itself often feel repetitive. For everything, in its ups and downs, is fundamentally the same and arises from the same source. Until when, then, will this continue? 47. Continuously reflect on the people, of every kind, profession, and social class, who have died, until, following this thread, you arrive at Philistian.
Okay,
Phoebus,
we've turned
or
in
again.
Princess. Need help?
Now turn to other lineages. Our transformation will lead us to the same place where so many skilled orators and so many authoritative philosophers.
Well, we did good, guys. We're going back to the Dwarf Lands, and we'll call it a day.
Countless heroes, generals,
Thank you
and
for watching
tyrants.
episode 9
And further still,
Teflon
Boxes,
Stoic's journey through
Hipparchus,
hardcore WoW, listening
Archimedes,
to
men of sharp minds,
Stoic
magnanimity,
philosophy.
diligence, and
Thank
activity
you
in
very
every
much.
field. Proud men and even mockers of this very human life, mortal and fleeting, like Menippus and others like him.